Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. This reading is for the collective. It's for whoever, whenever, wherever. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. I just did the next 4 sign readings, so I'll have those up for you probably tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for them. But in the meantime, ancestors, spirits, guides, what are we talking about today? Hope. Oh, I love this card. Keep the light in your heart. It's about not giving up hope and keeping hold of it. And I've heard referred to before as like hope being a 4-letter word, love being a 4-letter word. Look, on the bottom is masks. Ooh, I'm already feeling it. Safety or confinement, right? Wow, safety or confinement, like keeping up hope. This is about like seeing potential in something or someone or even in ourselves, right? And keeping up the hope that maybe the masking will help. And sometimes I'm saying, like, that has to do with sometimes we mask to get along in the world, just to get by. We have to do it when we're having a bad day and we have to go to the grocery store, or we have to deal with the bank teller, or we have to get on with our daily lives, and not it's not everybody's business what's going on with us, right? There's plenty of reasons for us to keep save face, for us to keep a level playing field when we go out into the world, right? There's also, like, and knowing that others are doing that too, and seeing those like underlying things sometimes, like, why were they acting that way? Why did they say that like that? Maybe they aren't feeling very good, haven't seen them in a while, wonder what's going on. Sometimes it's just about, like, not not being everybody's business, not wanting the whole world in our up in our business. That's just how it feels right now. And, like, keeping the hope alive that maybe, like, you'll be able to get through the thing without everybody noticing, or get through it without it having to be more than it actually is. 222, that's how this is coming through. Look, the Hermit. And it's Aladdin and the genie. And here's the thing about the genie is, like, the genie will give you anything that you want, but be careful what you wish for, right? Be careful up there, kitty. So we have the candles lit. That's about, like, that genie was in that lamp for a very long time by himself. And thinking about all the wishes that he granted and all the people that made them and what it was that they wanted and what it is that they got. Being careful what you wish for. And then coming out and seeing this young person, this young guy who's got this hubris, right? And he wants these things, and he's like, yeah, that's what you want. Be careful what you wish for. It's like you are shining that light on, like, keeping that hope alive, that light in your heart. Sorry, I should get into things over here. And being able to shine that for others too. It's like I'm seeing this. Look at that. Virgo energy. What else, Spirit? Page of Wands. News coming through. Again, keeping that hope alive and sharing things. And maybe wanting it. I just keep, like, they've got this. He's got this wand. He's got this light. I feel like you're presenting something. There's news coming through about something that you need to share, maybe something that you've discovered on your own when you're taking that time for yourself, right? You're ready to present it. I'm not saying when we wear masks, when we go off into the world and we do this, and we're being fake, or we're being pretend, or we're none of that, right? Like, if I'm smiling at the grocer, it's not fake me. It's me taking that time out to be in a different space where I'm being able to interact with someone else without weighing them down and vice versa, right? And it's kind of like a way to step out of that internal space, that overthinking space, right? And like it's like putting your coat on, so you go out and you're protected from the rain, and then you come back out and you take that coat off, right? It isn't being false. If you're doing it to be deceitful, or you're pretending to be somebody you're not, that's a different experience, and that's a different intent, right? There's something about like knowing the difference between those two things. Like, are you dressed for success, or are you dressed for the occasion, but you're still in your style, you're still you. There's some kind of news coming through about something that's been revealed, something that's been, I'm hearing, re-seen. So maybe you saw it, or it was seen, and then now it's being seen again, and it's being seen differently. Wow, now we get the Knight of Wands. So this starts moving things forward very, very quickly. Queen of Pentacles on the bottom, or earth sign energy. And look, she's sitting still. This energy is move, 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 go, go, go. And it's moving very, very quickly. It's almost like you get this bit of information, then the news spreads, then it activates something, and people want to start taking action, or you want to start taking action. It's like that hope is realivened, that inspiration is reinvigorated, right? And I feel like getting out of that space where you may have been like sequestering yourself, and now you're moving toward your wishes, hopes, and dreams. You had some time to think about it. What were you actually wishing for? What would you actually gotten if you made that wish, if that wish was granted to you? Is that really what you wanted? Would it really fulfill the thing? Right? Being careful. Like, now you understand that maybe those things weren't as fulfilling as you'd hoped, and you're moving toward them. And you're like really understanding what that is from the emotional heart space. Where are you going? Where are you going? To a complete transformation. Doesn't mean actual physical death. It means an ending, and irreconcilable. Like, once it's changed, there ain't no going back. The interesting thing is, the story on this card is the little matchbook girl. It's Hans Christian Andersen. It was a story that I read several times when I was little, and I would cry, just cry and cry and cry. And then I listened to it again as an adult, like listen to someone audibly telling this story. And it hit me. Did it hit me, because she is slowly freezing to death. And she's trying to sell these matches, and she's going in and out of lucidity and having these dreams of being warm, being loved, being fed, right? And with like every little bit, like if she burns them, then she doesn't have anything to sell, but if she doesn't burn it, then she freezes, right? And it's about the transformation, like coming through that, and like, again, what it is that you had hoped and wished and dreamed, and what the reality of it is, and how do we come to those completions and manifest the new, like come through it in the way that grows the new thing that we want to grow, right? And part of it is like being okay with the ending, and not and maybe being okay with like taking that mask off. Is it confinement, or is it safety? I'm sure at some point it's both. I don't think the either or is mutually exclusive, right? But keeping that hope, that light inside of you, with that death on the bottom, is the world. This is like a full completion. Full completion. There ain't no going back. Once this realization gets set in motion, once the actions start being taken, the completion is real, right? The graduation is real. It moves on to the next place. Ooh. And it puts you at a point of higher ground where you might have to be in a defensive mode. You might feel like you need to defend yourself. But standing on higher ground, they can't really reach you. They can't really get to you. You've crossed the other side of the canyon, of the cavern, of the ravine here. And so you're sitting here still trying to defend yourself from things and people who can't even get to you anymore. And that feels like a bit of a waste of energy. But it might just be you trying to keep your balance, maintain through it, maintaining through it. Let's see. Let's get another. I grabbed steampunk, but for some reason I'm feeling like yeah, no. We're gonna use little postcards. Granny's postcards tarot. Ancestors, spirits, guides. What is the time out about? What is the hermit taking that time out? Talk to us about that. This Virgo, we got Virgo out, we got Scorpio out. Could be any sign, but those are the archetypes that are coming through. What is this? What is this about, Spirit? What is this about, Spirit? Knight of Swords. Information that came through. Look, it's like there again with that safety or confinement with that umbrella. I said it like about putting your coat out in the rain, you know, protecting you. There's the night, like this information, this energy, this movement, this action being taken, this informative action, like something was shined the light on. Like he's telling her something, right? The soldier's telling her something, like he's whispering in her ear. She come close so that she can be kept dry from that umbrella. The genie is telling Aladdin something. He's shining the light on it. He's showing him the way, right? Information came to you. Made you re-examine your wishes. 8 of Cups. Again, this movement, there's a lot of movement forward. You go, King of Swords made a decision. This is goes with this 8 of Cups here. King of Swords. A judicial decision was made. Something having to do with a maternal energy, mothering energy, right? Whether that be you or someone else. Libra and Taurus, take it how it resonates. This is about abundance. This is about really like deciding, you know, like what risks to take and which ones not to take. This could have been something that was advised to you when you were a kid, something that you were raised with, some idea that you were raised with, and how to care for yourself and what was good for you, right? And what risks to take and what risks not to take. And you're starting to look at something more clearly with the information available and saying there is more available out there. I'm strong enough to get there. I'm going to climb up that mountain. And going after that. And there's also this feeling of like, again, whose wishes are you living out? Whose dreams are you prescribing to, right? Taking those masks off, making an announcement. What is this announcement about? What is this news? Choice that you made on who to partner with, or who you will be partnering with. But again, this is Geminian energy, communication, 2 sides to an argument, right? Mm-hmm. Page of Swords on the bottom, because somebody could have been spreading false information. News could have been coming across. Somebody could have been spying about something. But what was really going on while you're taking that moment of introspection, and you're like, this is the choice that I've made. This is where I'm going. These are the people that you're choosing to hang out with. I want to get just a little bit more information on that Lover's card with this with this Page of Wands. What is this? Could you give us just a little bit more information? The Emperor, Aries energy. Wow. Could be partnering with an Aries. Could be partnering with a Gemini. Could have something to do with a partnership between these two. Right? But this is, again, you get the mother and the father out here now. You've got the Emperor and the Empress. And again, that like, what were you taught? What would you like to see happen? How do when you come out into the world, whatever this partnership be, whether it be romantic, familial, business, right? It's somebody close to you. Could be a sibling. No, I see the Lovers card. We always think, you know, card of Lovers, but it's the person that we're partnering with that's closest to us. Right? And again, this could have to do with like ideas that were placed upon you by parental figures. And how did those help you? How did those hurt you? How did those serve you? How did those form, you know, the decisions that you made, maybe the masks that you've had to wear, or that you've seen others wear. And there's like this idea of like shearing those off and coming through this very authentically. The Emperor is Aries, that is the self, first house. Who are you at your core? How do you rule yourself? How do you take control over your life? The Empress energy, the abundance. How do you create? Right? And when you put the lovers, like the masculine and the feminine, whether that be external or internal, together, those are the choices that you make and the way that you build your partnerships and move forward, right? And that's what this is about, and being the totally authentic self. And now we've got the death. There is a change. There is no going back. There is this end to disingenuousness, disingenuous partnerships, disingenuous friendships, disingenuousness in any way that you're choosing to lead your life. You've changed your wishes now. Because not having your head and your heart on the same page really causes shakeup, really keeps you from being able to move. I would, again, be careful of car trouble, something stopping you in your tracks. And it could be like this kind of like an ending here, this modal. Because the previous way has been keeping you from victory, been keeping you from, moving forward. It's like you really are changing how you're looking at things, how you're responding to things, taking those masks off, and now things are moving forward. This is both water sign energy here, Cancer and Scorpio. I want to just clarify that a little bit more here. Can you give us a little bit more information on this death and Chariot in reverse, please? Yeah, Queen of Swords in reverse. That's that lying, manipulative, gaslighting, spreading rumors that aren't true, gossip. That's the negative. The overbearing mother figure, maternal figure, feminine figure, right? This is the bitter divorced one that doesn't have any love for anybody anymore, and they just take everybody down. And there's an ending to that. Because it creates not just disharmony, but the inability to move forward. It like cuts the wheels right off the wagon. I'm putting that to rest. No more fantasies about like, if I just light this match, it's going to keep me warm. You know what I mean? Like really understanding the coldness, the frigid, bitter coldness of that behavior, mentality, those lies. Taking control of yourself in a different way. The light is being shined on that. You're getting new wishes. Some kind of information has come through and you've made a judicial. We got Queen of Swords and King of Swords out. We got the Emperor and the Empress out. What is this Knight of Wands? Now we got the King of Cups and the Six of Cups coming out with this Knight of Wands. And that's the loving, compassionate father figure, spouse, the one who knows everybody's emotional needs, the one who's taking care of all of them, will never tell you how they're actually feeling themselves. Yep. Somebody that this could be like, again, like father and figure and children here. Take it how it resonates. But this, I mean, with Thanksgiving coming up, this is familial energy, or the influence of our parenthood, like our parentage, whoever raised us. It's coming through very, very strongly here. And there's this like other energy here, loving, compassionate, kind. It could be someone you know from a previous incarnation. It could be someone you know from your childhood. It could just be somebody coming through that reminds you of the goodness that you came into this life with, right? Wants to share something with you. If it's someone from your past moving towards you quickly, that might be why you're feeling so defensive. Tell us, what is this defensiveness? Five of Wands in the reverse, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Look, letting go of that fighting. They can't even get to you now. They can't even get to you now. And that's how you want it. This is peaceful. The hope that came out at the beginning, those wishes, hopes, and dreams, letting go of that fight. Just setting down one. If you set down one of those coins, you wind up with the Ace of Coins, which is the seed that you plant to get moving forward. It's like you can't keep this juggling act up forever. Masks coming out here, safety or confinement. Keep that light in your heart. I think you're really starting to see how the way that you were taught, or the way that it was presented to you, maybe familially, maybe in like society, wasn't working out for you very well. And stripping yourself of the disingenuousness, stripping yourself of the masks and anyone else who is wearing those masks to save face or to just get along. You're realizing there has to be a decision made here from the heart where that is taken down and things can change. And that way you are open to receive the good. The whale and the orcas of the elder. Share your song, frequency of sound, deep diving. Share your song. Speaking up in this element of sharing with someone. The whale, the orca elders. I don't know, dude. A while back, I wrote this audio book, and there's the second chapter in it is called The Whale. And Edward Snowden, the book is called It's Odd We Trust, and it's about how it's difficult to trust after we've destroyed that in each other so much, and why that is, right? And that's like, I'll post a link to it in the comments if you're interested. No obligation whatsoever, but it's like ringing through here too, because there's a lot to do with the dad, with the father figure, right? Or with the way that we destroy the concept of trust and hope via the masks that we wear and what we pretend that those things are that we want. And when we make authentic choices, it destroys the illusions of others. And sometimes it has to like reset the whole, but it puts us in a place where we are no longer having to be subservient to the argument for argument's sake. And we can receive the love and be loving. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Keep the light in your heart and keep holding the vision. Look at those cards and how they're talking to each other. It's like you planted the seeds, you shined the light, you showed the way, and now you can walk in it and bask in it and have it there for you. I'm going to close this up with a rune. Yes, we do, Spirit. Yes, we do. Ancestors, spirits, guides. Oh, what message would you like to receive from this? What would you like to say to us about this? Berkana, growth. Wow, the birth, the new, the growth. Guys, the birch tree? No? Beach. The birch tree, growth. Rebirth. There's that death and rebirth card right there. It's time to get on it, guys. The rune of life process, another of the cycle runes. Berkana denotes the form of fertility which promotes growth both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, family matters, one's relationship to oneself, or the divine. This is a leading to rune in that it leads to the blossoming and ripening. What is called for here is going into things deeply with care and awareness. Berkana is concerned with the power of influencing development and with the flow of beings into their new forms. Its action is gentle and penetrating and pervasive. First, disperse resistance, then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled. There's that reevaluation. There's that hermit and the genie in the lamp, right? What are your wishes? In regard to the issue, your motives must be correct, authentic, clear, right? Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. We got the King of Swords. You might need to ask for help, for clarity, for assistance. Don't be ashamed to do that. Modesty, patience, Fairness and generosity are called for here. Do you possess these virtues? Once resistance is dispersed and rectification carried out and seen to hold firm, then, through steadfastness and right attitude, blossoming can occur. That's what this is all about. It's about that growth. It's about clearing all that out so that the new can come through. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe if this resonated with you, or hype if it's there. The next 4 sign readings should be out, like I said, very, very, very soon. So keep your eye out for those. And the ones that have already come through, maybe check those out. There might be messages in there for you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for coming back and visiting us again next time. Bye, guys. Love you.